Hi, I'm Anthony from the Basement Reef, and welcome once again to Plant Talk with the Basement Reef. If this is your first time tuning into our channel, we're a retail aquatic pet store and houseplant shop located in Columbia, Missouri, and this is our YouTube channel where we talk about plants and nothing but plants. If you're interested in aquarium content from us, look for our other channel, the Basement Reef, but this is our plant channel, Plant Talk with the Basement Reef. And today, I'm here to talk to you guys about a couple of philodendrons that are particular favorites of mine. You might notice that we're not in the shop today. We're in this work in progress plant room of mine. I'm not ready to show it off yet, but this is a little hobby space I'm working on, and I'll show you guys a detailed video of everything in here once I'm a little happier with how it's going. But in the meantime, it definitely works as a place to shoot videos when I'm showing off plants that I have at home. And like I said, the philodendrons we're looking at today are particular favorites of mine. So I have a large mature one at home that we'll be featuring in this video, as well as a few others that I'm growing out. The philodendrons we'll be talking about today are the philodendron jungle boogie, philodendron ring of fire, and philodendron golden crocodile. There are actually 3 variations on the same plant, and I truly love them all, so I'm very excited to talk to you about them. So what is a philodendron jungle boogie? Well, no one quite knows. As far as I can tell, it's most likely a hybrid. That's what most people believe about this plant, as it's never been found to occur naturally anywhere, but nobody knows what it's a hybrid of. It's just been in the hobby for a long time. It also has multiple names that it trades under. Jungle Boogie being the most common, but also Henderson's Pride being an older name that you saw a lot, or a sawtooth philodendron. You'll even see this called a narrow form sawtooth philodendron, which is interesting because the ones that are considered to be wide form are first of all multiple different plants, and second of all have nothing to do with this plant, so it's not a narrow form anything. It is in fact its own plant. Here, we're looking at one that I have for sale in the store that is very typical of what you'll see for this plant. You'll notice the large sawtooth leaves, hence one of the names for the plant, the sawtooth philodendron, and also the bushy, almost rosette growth pattern. But make no mistake, this philodendron will climb if you let it. And that brings us to my specimen at home. This is a large, mature jungle boogie that me and my wife have been growing out for over 2 years, started from a single leaf specimen. We gave this plant a plank to climb up some time ago, and since then, it's quite happily grown up it as a single vine. Now this plant isn't perfect. You'll notice some blemishes on the leaves, which we'll talk about later in the video, as well as an odd leaf here and there, but that to me is pretty representative of what you'll get with a lot of houseplants that you care for completely indoors. Again, we've had this thing for over 2 years, and over that time, it's changed the growing conditions plenty, as well as had some on and off pest pressures. Nobody's perfect. But overall, this is still probably my single favorite plant that I own at home. Anyway, enough about the regular form of the jungle boogie for now, and on to the next plant that we're looking at today, and that is this philodendron ring of fire that we have back at the shop. Now, ring of fire is really just a variegated form of the jungle boogie, and it is an awesome, awesome plant. The variegation is different on every leaf and every plant, and ranges from green to yellow to cream, and can throw different patterns, sectoral variegation, as well as half-moon leaves. Again, every plant here is different. These were really hard to get for a long time and have been my top wish list plant for really over 2 years now. But lately they've been tissue cultured and they're a lot more available, which is why we have them in the shop, and I have a couple at home. This is one that I'm growing out onto a moss pole. I really like these when they climb, and I'm shooting for the moon with this one. I gave it a really, really tall pole. And this is the second one I decided to take home. It's an intensely variegated specimen, and recently gave me this almost entirely yellow leaf. But you'll notice, it has these brown spots on it too, just like my larger jungle boogie. So, what are those? Well, there's really 2 possibilities, but I'll tell you what I believe is going on here. What you're looking at now is the underside of one of the leaves of my larger jungle boogie, and these little droplets are what's called extrafloral nectaries. This is when a plant produces nectar on the underside of the leaves to attract bugs, usually to ward off pests. And if you put it in too high of a light, it can actually burn the leaf. And that's what I think you're seeing on these brown spots on the front of the leaf. They match the pattern of the extrafloral nectaries under the leaf exactly. Additionally, I've always been able to rectify this situation by reducing the light the plant is receiving. And it's never jumped from leaf to leaf, as it would if it were a fungus, which is the other thing that could present sort of like this. In the end, it really ends up just being a bit of a record of the differing growth conditions as this plant grew. It's just one of those things that you kind of got to take with this plant. And now we'll take a look at the third and final form of this philodendron, and that's this golden crocodile, golden ring of fire, or golden sawtooth. It also trades under several names. When it's young, all of the foliage looks sort of like a neon pothos, this really bright yellow color. But as it ages, the older leaves will settle into a darker green, a lot like a moonlight philodendron. I wish I could tell you more about this, but I've never owned this plant. These ones here in the shop are the first that I've had. They've been really elusive, but I'm excited to have them and excited to learn a little bit more. Altogether, all three of these philodendrons make for some really striking foliage that stands out against almost any other plant I know of that you can keep. I'm really excited to have all three available in the shop, and also I'm happy to have been able to show them off all together here for you and hopefully provide some interesting information about their care. As always, please subscribe to our channel if you liked what you heard today. That's the biggest thing that can help us grow this channel, and we'd appreciate it a whole lot. Thank you for watching.